So another element I want to talk about is something that comes up particularly for heart-centered, spiritually oriented business owners. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the fantasies that we have about marketing that can really get in the way of our being effective. I think there's two fantasies that come into play when you are creating your business as an expression of who you are, as a way to do your soul's work out in the world. I think the first fantasy is what I call the word of mouth referral fantasy. Now, I'm not suggesting that there aren't people who don't grow their business primarily by referral, and who maybe are even able to grow a business exclusively by word of mouth and referral. But I have to tell you, I don't see it that often. Generally, the people who are able to do that, first of all, are building private practices, whether it's a coaching private practice, a therapy private practice, or kind of a consulting private practice where you're just going out and making individual contracts. But if you want to start to have a business that has multiple income streams, where you're selling a lower priced product to a bigger audience, or offering very high-end offerings to a select audience, or enrolling group teleclasses, I've generally found that just word of mouth and referral is not going to do the trick. And the other element of this I've found is that I hear a lot of people saying they want to grow their business by word of mouth and referral, but they're actually not taking any action to generate that word of mouth and to generate referrals. And the irony that I really see is we tend to get the most word of mouth and the most referrals when we're really being bold about stepping out and taking other marketing actions that get us out into the world and into the marketplace. So, nothing wrong with word of mouth and referral, but the reason I call it a fantasy is when we're hoping that will get us off the hook from stepping out and sharing ourselves and sharing our message with the world. Now, the second fantasy I'm going to call the law of attraction fantasy. And it's not that I don't give some credence to the law of attraction, but it becomes a fantasy where, again, we're hoping that the power of our attraction will get us off the hook for actually taking concrete, specific action to put ourselves out in the world, where we're hoping because we're so attractive that we don't need to get on the phone and book 10 speaking engagements, where we don't make the video or put up the blog post or ask someone if they are willing to interview you for their list, when we don't reach out. So it's not that business doesn't come in unexpectedly, because it absolutely does. But again, I don't think any of the energetic practices or energetic principles are a complete substitute for some of the nitty-gritty action of putting yourself out there.